Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. As you can see by my face, something's up. And the reality is the Los Angeles Lakers Summer League team just got blown out again. And we did not look good out there, man. I have a few things to say. First of all, I must say that I didn't watch the full highlights and probably need to get a full understanding of what happened there because I was fighting with the link for the majority of the third quarter. And majority of the fourth, for that matter, too. The second half was pretty much me watching in fragments as it proceeded to buffer. So that was very difficult for me. But it was already out of hand by the time that took place. The game was over. We had a nice start to the game. Dalton Connect had a really good game. He hit like 5 out of 11 threes. So we like what we saw there offensively. His shot is excellent. He had a situation where a defender was had him cut off. He couldn't quite get a first step on the guy and was forced to take a turnaround fade away, and that thing was nice, man. He let that thing fly from like maybe 18, 20 feet, and he hit it. It was beautiful. The thing about it that concerned me was the fact that he couldn't get around his man. That first step was non-existent. So as long as he can hit shots like that, he'll create opportunities for himself regardless. But we do need to put some leg strength and some explosiveness needs to develop from there. But Dalton Connect looks great on the offensive end. Defensively, turnstile as usual. But we don't really pay him to be a defender. We just need to be able to mask him defensively. We understand that. Castleton did some good things, the rebounding the ball. I like the addition of Moses Brown. He really helped us with length and rebounding and some putback stuff like that. But Bronny James had a tough game, man. It was tough out there, boy. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Bronny James, I was getting frustrated with him because at some point in time, you got to look off that three-point line. I know we're in the three-point shooting era, and I'm happy that he was aggressive. He had 2 steals, 5 rebounds. I think he ended up with like 8 points, but I don't remember exactly the point total. But he was looking for more shots, which is what we want. And we were saying, man, if he really wants to win people over, he's going to have to do it in the point totals. But what you don't do when you haven't hit a 3 the entire summer league is take 8 threes. You find ways of getting off of that three-point line. At one point, it was very frustrating for me because I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, he's like 0 for 6 from behind the arc, but he's not moving around from the arc. He's just kind of hovering. At stand-around offense, he was doing a lot of that. And I don't know if that was by design or if it was in his head. But, bro, you can't shoot, bro. Like, at some point in time, somebody got to look Bronny in the face and say, bro, your shot is not falling. You got to find another way to help your team offensively. Look for opportunities to fake off of that. Set us pick somewhere in a situation. Try to get a back cut, lay the ball up, dunk the ball, get to the line. He was being aggressive in getting to the line, and that's where I think he can get his points. But the 3 ball will not fall until he takes many reps over many years. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we are a long way away from him being 3 and D. We need to. Whoever said that he's a 3 and D prospect needs to get the 3 out of there. That's not what he can do. He is not a professional basketball shooter. He is not from anywhere at all. And that's why I think we need to be honest about that. I think he has some intangibles that can really help us, but he is far away from being an NBA player, man. He just is. He can help an NBA team on the defensive end. I think he's a smart player, connective piece. He will be an NBA player if people don't ruin him too soon, which is a thing that happens a lot of times. But in this situation, I just felt like he was hovering around that three-point arc for no reason. You are not hitting no threes, bruh. And that whole idea about keep shooting if you can't, if you're not hitting shots, shooters keep shooting. Yes, shooters do. Non-shooters, you don't need to keep shooting threes. And I think that that's one of the biggest misconceptions about basketball. Is the idea that everyone should continue to shoot when they haven't hit shots. Shooters who have a reputation of making shots, who go cold, need to shoot their way out of it. A person who can't shoot at all, you don't need to keep shooting, bro. That is not how you win. And I'm telling you, Bronny's shot, when I saw him as a kid, he's a naturally nice shooter. He has an ability to shoot the ball naturally. But on this level, he hasn't had the reps to be in a position to be a floor spacer. He has to shoot a lot more shots, man. That's what it really comes down to. He needs to be in the development league. There was a situation down there where, the shot clock was running out. We had a breakup type of situation where the ball exchanged possession back and forth between the two teams, and we ended up with it with the shot clock had run down because initially the possession was ours on the offensive end. And Bronny didn't understand the shot clock. He was trying to go for some type of lob pass. Like, bro, you got to shoot the ball. So these are the type of things that he's going to get a better feel for as he continues to develop, which I'm not too worried about, but it did frustrate us in real time when we're trying to compete. So yeah, this was the dud game for Bronny. This was the game that really exposed him as somebody who probably has so much more work to do. And it's just one game. Like I said, the last game I thought he was pretty good. He hadn't been as aggressive shooting the ball. So in theory, you're happy that he found his aggression. But you can shoot your team out of the game too. And like I said in the last game, if you got a guy who's going 0 for 8 from behind the arc, and then you got another guy going 0 for 5, and then another guy going 1 for 6, these are the type of things that just ultimately throw your possessions away. And eventually your leg's going to get tired on the defensive end. The stop coming. And the score goes wide open. And that's what we saw tonight. Blake Hinson, what I was worried about in regards to Blake Hinson is what we saw over these last couple of games, man. If his three ball isn't falling, he really ain't helping you in other areas. And he's one of those guys who he's really efficient from behind the arc when he has it going. He shot very well in college and shot very well in the first game. But when he's off, he goes wide left, wide right, air ball. So I think he was 0 for 5 from behind the arc and then didn't really help us in any other areas. So I felt like some of what went wrong was having him on the floor. For those who were saying, let's replace Rui Hachimura with him. Now you see what I was talking about? He's not that. He's not the guy that you move on from Rui because you got Blake now. No, absolutely not. You got to go ahead and develop him, put him in the G League, just like you need to put Bronny in that G League. We saw some things from who else was out there? Collins Castleton. I think he's been showing that he's doing very well from year 1 to year 2. And I was listening to No Ceilings today, and they said something that kind of like, yeah, that's all. It's been in our faces. We just didn't realize it. But Colin Castleton probably shouldn't be on a two-way anymore, given the fact that we need a center so bad. And the centers that we're relying upon, Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes, are not really great. I don't know that it doesn't make all the sense in the world to just guarantee Colin Castleton's contract from here on out and make sure that he's a regular part of our rotation without sending him to the G League, on a two-way. If he needs to do some G League time, cool, but going forward, now that we have the center issues that we have, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to fill in our roster with the center. I don't really need him away from the team anymore. I need him on the main squad. So I definitely agree with those guys who said that. I think that's kind of obvious, but not something that we're really thinking about because we have so many other things on our mind. But getting Colin Castleton off of the two-way into a guaranteed contract probably is in the best interest of our franchise at this point, especially when it doesn't look like we're going to be able to fill that center position and our center depth is bad. So I think he's deserved to get off of that two-way. And I tell y'all the truth, man, I don't know how much time Bronny's going to spend in the G League, but if ever there was a guy who really needs development and probably should be on a two-way, it's Bronny James. And we allowed the politics to kind of get in the way of that. And he's not ready to play with the big squad, man. Y'all might want to throw him out there just so he can get a lob up with his dad and we can have a big moment, but then send him to the G League for the next 2 years, maybe even 3, fam, so that he can develop to his best self, work all the kinks out, become an NBA three-point reliable shooter, and finish in the paint better. I think his defense is always going to be there, and that's what's going to carry him in this league. But if we skip steps with this kid, you're going to destroy his career. You are. And I'm saying that to anybody who's listening to me from behind the Laker lines. If you rush him out there to do this against the real NBA, you're gonna break him. I'm just being honest. He ain't ready, and he's not gonna be ready very soon. And giving him a guaranteed contract and putting the cameras in his face and all that is not gonna make him a better basketball player. If anything, it's setting him up for complete failure. And like I said, I'm a believer in his ability defensively. I saw some things in the last game. I thought he was one of the better players on the floor. for us, even though he wasn't scoring very much. But he's going to have to learn some things that are going to help him be a better pro, and he's going to have to get the reps up, hours and hours and hours with professionals to help him become a confident and effective offensive player. Scoring the ball specifically, knowing how to be aggressive without allowing the door to go wide open as it pertains to him going 0 for. Because that 0 for 8, that lacked awareness. Yeah, that lacked awareness, in my opinion. Some of them shots are just like, yo, are we not aware of ourselves not being able to hit shots tonight? Find another way to help your team. And the coaching. Yo, this kid is 0 for 8, fam. Stop having him hover behind the three-point line. Run some off-ball screens that allow him to create some contact that he can push off of and hover into other spaces where he can get layups, mid-range shots, dunks. That's literally all I ever need a player like that to do, because the reality is the spacing that you think you're creating by having him hovering behind the arc is not happening. They're playing off of him now. Now they'll be able to shrinking the floor on your offense. You're making it easier for the defense. Having him hover back there, just standing around waiting to brick another three. That was awful, man. That fourth quarter, he was just hovering. And it got to a point where I'm cussing at my screen like, yo, all this kid is doing is waiting for an opportunity to brick another shot. Bro, it's not falling. Have him set a screen. Have him run around. Have him do something. Have him play make. Put the ball in his hands so he can give the ball to somebody else. Do something that doesn't have him hovering behind the arc, waiting for another opportunity to further ruin his three-point shooting percentage. That's all I'm saying, bro. So I was thoroughly frustrated with everybody involved in that situation, Bronny included. I just need more situational awareness to be developed there, and just a much more healthy shot diet, please. Okay, I don't need him attempting 3 shots, and I definitely don't need him attempting 8 threes on a cold night. Can we get some balance there? Some balance. I know it's summer league, but my God, man. Seriously, especially when you got Blake Henson out there who, you know, he ain't got no sense from behind the arc. He just gonna keep shooting regardless. So you got him cold and Bronny cold. Kuzi likes to shoot threes. He usually go 1 for 7. I mean, it's like, yo, bro, this is bad product. I don't need to see this. And then you got poor Dalton Connect, the only person out there hitting any threes, still down by 20. It makes for bad basketball, guys. I think this Summer League team is probably the second worst Laker Summer League team I've ever seen. There was one worse than this. There's been one. But this one's awful, man. We are really bad, bro. And it's all eyes on us because of Bronny. So that's really bad for the kid. So can we find some balance with Bronny's shot diet, man? Sometimes he's shooting too little. Tonight he shot way too many threes. Way too many threes. It was absolutely embarrassing for him. It really was. And you know the media gonna get on his case. It ain't just as simple as, oh, a guy who was drafted 55 just happened to struggle. Nah, it's LeBron James Jr. You know, and the idiot media and all the jerks out there who don't want to see him succeed because of who he's related to. It's trash. So let that boy get some more playing time. Hopefully in the next game we can have a little more success. I really don't need him shooting threes until he has a whole summer where he's shooting every day, 3 hours a day. That's the type of thing he needs to be doing now. You want to shoot the 3 at an NBA level? You need to get up 5 in the morning and get in the damn gym and shoot the 3 ball at the NBA level until you don't get out of the gym until you get 50 makes. And then when that becomes more successful, then you up it to 75 makes. Like, that's what needs to be happening there. He really needs to be learning how to shoot for real and putting in the hours, man. And we can't just talk about it. You got to really put in that effort. Bron says that his son is a hell of a... He's willing to put in the work. Now we're going to see how serious he is about that. Because a situation like this, you up at 5:30 tomorrow morning. If I'm coaching you, you up 5:30. We in the gym, you getting 50 makes off. And I don't care if it takes 1,000 threes, you're going to get 50 makes. And then we're going to move on to something else, and then we're going to come back and get 50 every single day till we can get up to 100 every single day until we get to a point where the shooting percentage when we walk out of the gym is reasonable. Because this is telling me he ain't getting the reps. People can talk about all types of different work that people doing. It ain't showing. Not when he's shooting the 3 ball. Not if you're going to give him a guaranteed 4-year deal. Hell nah. Hell nah. It's unacceptable. So I'm on his case because he has been given a lot too soon. And a lot of that is everyone else's fault but him. But he going to have to make up for it. That's just the nature of the game he's in. And it's time to put in work, bro. No excuses. I ain't trying to hear nothing. I don't need him to shoot 8 threes and brick all of them. I need him to be in the gym early in the morning, working on his game, in the G League, listening to damn coaches and all that, man. So if the LA Lakers aren't going to do that for him, then they ain't doing right by him. Because after a night like this, I'm on his case. I'm telling y'all right now, if I'm his coach, I'm on his case. We ain't doing none of that. And I'm worried that people are afraid to be on his case because of the situation in politics. But I'm telling you, if he wants to get good, he needs people on his case. The right way. The constructive way. Blotting out all the noise, shooting in the damn gym. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I got to say, man. Bronny James is a young prospect. I want to see him succeed. But if he's not going to succeed, it's going to be because he didn't put in the work. And because he listened to the noise and people didn't get on his case like they were supposed to in situations where it was necessary. That's what I think. And people take it easy on him and tiptoe it around him because his daddy. And that's why he won't succeed, because of stuff like that. Don't let it happen. Or listening to the haters that want to overboard him with criticism that ain't valid. Ignore them. So that's my point of view, man. Bad game for Bronny. But an opportunity to learn from the tape. And an opportunity for him to get back in the gym and know where he learn from his mistakes. And overshooting, especially when other people are cold, is always a bad thing. 8 threes for him, it's terrible shot diet. It just is. So, but he rebounded the ball early on. I thought he was getting to the line. He had a nice dunk early on, so we were excited about that. And so there's more production to be had there. But that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, Dalton Knecht had his best game. He's just getting better and better as it pertains to the offensive end, and we're going to be able to rely upon him to give us some real scoring soon. The more games he gets, the more comfortable he is, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing when he gets into the big leagues. I think it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be defensive issues, but he'll get it back on the offensive end, and that's just the nature of the player, man. That's the nature of the player. I like what I saw from him from a playmaking point of view as well. Given the fact that we only have one pure point guard out there in Kuzi, which I just think is a team construction mistake. Yeah, I should have had another facilitating point guard out there. I know Bronny's a 6'1" guy, but to call him a point guard is idiotic. To be honest, he's not a playmaker like that. He's a 2. So get on top of your game, Lakers. That's one of the reasons why you're getting blown out, because you only have one playmaker out there. But I thought Dalton Knecht did some good things in that area over the last 2 games. I've really seen him make some good plays for other people, trying to play that point guard role, trying to facilitate for us, and I thought he did really good with it. So yeah, man, excited about Dalton. Disappointed in Bronny today, and everybody else. I didn't get a good enough look because of how the game was going for me. Just didn't see enough. But 0 for 8, man. It's still hovering behind the arc. Not moving. Get your butt around, man. Move around, man. Start standing behind that 3-point arc like you JJ Redick or Steph Curry or something. Move. BDO 44. I thank y'all for watching.